What's up, everybody? This is BakaBites. I'm Frankfurter. That is Magically Average. And today we are predicting the Crunchyroll Awards for 2024/5. I guess they happen in 2025, but it's for the year of 2024. You get what I'm saying. We are going to go through just a handful of categories that have traditionally been in the awards ceremony and give our predictions as to what 6 shows are going to be in those slots and then our winners. But the caveat is we have 2 lists. One, the actual predictions that we think will actually be there, and 2, our wants for the year. Now, keep in mind that if you're thinking, Frank, the year of anime isn't even over. Hell, summer isn't even over. You are correct. However, Crunchyroll Awards go from fall to summer. So this is the last season that we have for shows to qualify for the Crunchyroll Awards. And we're already about 4 weeks. We're about a quarter of the way through the season. At this point, we have a semi-decent feel as to how good a show is actually going to be. And I think that leads with enough time for us to just make an accurate prediction as to what's going to happen. And without further ado, we have 5 categories. The order that we are going to go in is Best Continuing Series, Best New Series, Best Original Anime, Best Animation, and Anime of the Year. Without further ado, let's get into the actual predictions before we get into our wants here. Best Continuing Series. Your first 6 shows, what do you have? And I wonder how different our lists are.
I don't think they're going to be that much different. I will preface it by saying that I was still realistic with my picks and not like pie in the sky. Because if it was pie in the sky, my list would be like just so far fetched.
Yeah, I would be the same.
It'd be incredibly off the wall. So I try to keep it grounded relatively, but still had my own biases included. But for continuing series, I have Slime season 3, My Hero season 7, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Mushoku Tensei.
I want to preface this. I did not include Jujutsu Kaisen at all. I predicted that I don't think that they will allow JJK back into this year's awards.
You say that. I know. But for some of their awards, they were like, this is specifically the hidden inventory arc. This is specifically the season 2, the latter half, or actually it was like majority of the season, really. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be in there. That's all. I have Mushoku Tensei, and I have Oshinoko season 2.
Okay. For me, Jobless Reincarnation, Demon Slayer, Oshinoko. This is where we differ a little bit. My Hero Academia.
Okay.
Then I have Spy Family season 2 part 2.
Yeah.
Or season 2 because there was no part.
Yeah.
Spy Family, and then I have Mashal season 2.
Just because of the opening.
Purely because so many people watch that show purely for the opening. And I did go back and rewatch the second season, and it was a lot better than the first season, despite it being a tournament arc.
I was going to say, that's so weird of you to say, Mr.
I know.
Hater of tournament arcs.
I hate tournament arcs, but despite it, it was pretty darn good. And I think that they did a really good job with season 2, so that's why I included it in my list. However, I have Demon Slayer winning this. Because when it comes to the Crunchyroll Awards, it's a popularity contest. And Demon Slayer is the biggest, baddest show out there right now that people are going to vote on. So for me, in that category, in those lists, I have Demon Slayer taking this one because people love their Demon Slayer, despite it being 6, 7, 8 episodes of fluff and some actual content, like canon events.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting my timelines mixed up myself from when everything came out, because the Hashira training arc is the one that's like basically just 8 chapters.
Yes,
and that's the one that's out.
Correct.
But that's
the one that can be nominated.
Right, and that's the one that people are just creaming their pants over for like the one episode, right? Like
the last episode.
Literally the last episode. Like they put all their like Ufotable basically was like, dump everything we own into this last episode. Our CEO is still evading taxes like an OG. Use that extra money, put it into this last episode. Like Yeah.
No, purely because of that last episode. That's why I have Demon Slayer winning this category.
It's
like
so it's so asinine though to me.
Win.
Yeah.
It shouldn't win, but it will.
Yeah. I went a different route. I said Oshinoko season 2 will win it. I think more people, because they're like, I kind of looked at Oshinoko from a bird's eye view, because spoiler alert, I haven't even finished season 1 yet, so I haven't started season 2. I'm going based purely off of word of mouth and online traction. But like episode 1 for Oshinoko season 1 was like at the top of everyone's lists. It blew people away. They're like, ew, it's like over an hour long, like this is weird. And then they realize, holy crap, this is going to be insane. What a spectacular first episode. Like, shocking what you can do with extra time. And then things kind of petered off, I feel like, as the season progressed. Like, there wasn't as much talk. Granted, it's hard to keep up that level of like intensity that episode 1 had, so understandable. But then going into season 2, like towards the tail end, I feel like it started to get just as much online gossip that the first episode got, but for the entirety of season 2, like just the anticipation of season 2, not so much like it's now airing, right? This is everything leading up to it actually coming out. So I feel like that level of the level of discussion and hype behind it probably did more than what Demon Slayer did in its last episode, in my mind, to take the cake for this one. And again, this is what I imagine happening at the Crunchyroll Awards.
Fair enough. My case for, I mean, I've already given my case for Demon Slayer, but if I were to present a case for Oshinoko, I think you are spot on, in which episode 1 was like, oh my god, this humongous thing, and then it kind of petered off because nobody realized what the show was actually going to be about, and it was like a slow burn of finding out who's the killer.
Yeah.
And people just kind of dropped off. They're like, I don't care about it. But season 2, they have a lot of better arcs in this season. Right now, they are 4 episodes in, and they are mid-arc for the 2.5 dimensional play that they put on. And this is one of the better arcs, but I mean, it does ramp up from here. Like, season 1 was very, like, polarizing episode 1, and then kind of a tame rest of your season. Let's set up some characters. Let's set up some potential drama in the future.
Yeah.
And then season 2, cool. Let's give it a kick in the butt and really start this off and ramp things up. Because if they go in order of, obviously they'll probably go in order, but I've seen weirder things happen in anime. If they go in order of arcs, I believe I know where they'll stop with season 2, and it's a doozy. And I can see that making people want to vote for it, but because this is the Crunchyroll Awards, this is the popularity contest, I think it's still going to be Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
So, and especially for the fact that Oshinoko is on High Dive, and all the people who do enjoy anime who don't watch anything on High Dive, because there are a lot of those people, I just think that they don't see it to get the votes. So,
I hope that's not the case, but
I hope not either. But yeah, Oshinoko season 2 is going to be a reckoning. It's going to be really good. But let's go into what we actually want for best continuing series, because my list differs from pretty drastically. I only have 3. Half of my list is the same. So just to kick it off, Jobless Reincarnation, Oshinoko, My Hero Academia season 7. Those are the 3 ones that I have on there as the same that I want to see on there. I really want to see My Hero on there just for the fact that season 6 really got snubbed. Season 6 was very good. Season 7 is even better. So if season 7 doesn't make it, something ain't right.
Yeah.
But the other 3 that I have on my best continuing series are Dangers in My Heart season 2, which I have not watched yet. I will eventually. Slime season 3. And then the one that I just want to squeak in there, because I've been enjoying season 2 so far, Tower of God. I've really been enjoying Tower of God season 2. It went in a very different direction than I anticipated. I assumed that the some minor spoilers here, that he would the main character would kind of start rising in the tower, but they go in a completely different direction from that, sort of. So to me, going into season 2, having watched season 1 and just jumping straight into it, it was a really good feeling of just like it broke the expectations that I had for it in a good way,
Mhm.
because they introduce a new cast of characters that you get attached to and you enjoy their company, while also having your main character there as well, dealing with the reckoning of what happened in season 1. So I really do hope that Season God season 2, or Tower of God season 2, squeaks in there. But ultimately, if I had to pick, I would really, really, really want Jobless Reincarnation season 2 part 2 to win. You and I talked about it at length for our kind of our seasonal awards last season,
Yeah.
in which Jobless Reincarnation season 2 part 2 is just in frick incredible.
Mhm.
The emotional highs and the emotional lows of that season are just astounding. I've not watched really a series like that in a very long time.
Yeah. Agreed. My only change to my list, because I also have Mushoku Tensei winning Best Continuing Series. Very close
I'm surprised it's not
to
dangerous.
it's very close to Dangers in My Heart season 2. I think it's mainly because the Dangers in My Heart had one emotion, and that was just pure joy and like heartache, but in a good way. Like my heart
Yeah.
just, I was like, oh God, my heart, it hurts.
God
Just
bless you.
watching these adorable people. They're so, it was just freaking too cute to handle. Mushoku
Yeah.
Tensei, though, I think did something that not many other, if any, other anime has done, which is taken an audience from start to finish and never let them feel comfortable. From like at no point, like this is spoiler free, but basically at no point watching even the entirety of season 2, not even just part 2, just all of season 2, I never felt like I could rest easy or like take a breath because something was going to happen, whether it be good or bad.
Yeah.
Something was going to happen, and I could never predict what was going to happen next. Like it was always just a fury of new events taking place, new situations, a lot of unknowns being explored, to the point where like I could not tell you what may or may happen next. And there were
Yeah.
periods of time where there was like longer lulls to like lure you into a sense of, false safety, and then just wham, just hit you right in the back of the head. So, yeah, the Mushoku Tensei by and far was the best continuing series from this year. I know people will say JJK season 2, but as we said, we're not
I
sure what
don't.
Crunchyroll is going to do with it.
Yeah,
It's a
which
weird
sucks
one.
because technically speaking, I just looked at the simulcast thing on Crunchyroll, like you know how they patch it out for summer, winter, fall,
Yeah.
yada yada. And it is JJK is in fall 2023, so
Yep.
that gives me
I
some false sense of security that it will, or not false sense of security. It gives me fear that it's going to be here again, and I
yeah.
don't think it should, because they really they put the wrong posters in the wrong places for categories last year, and
Well,
just made nothing clear as to what was actually there, or
yeah.
like what was actually nominated.
It was um it was very unclear on its face if Crunchyroll did this on purpose or if it was a blunder. It's still, the jury's still out, basically, because
I Yeah.
many people took it at the very end as, all right, they JJK swept, this was JJK's year, but JJK's out for next season, because there's no way that they could blur the lines like that and not differentiate between hidden inventory, which was eligible, versus the remainder of season 2, which was technically not eligible. So, yeah.
I'm realizing we also made a really big blunder here.
Uh
For for best continuing series, there's one omission that we forgot about. That is the popularity contest.
That's the popularity contest? Oh boy.
Rack your brain. What came out in October 2023?
Dude, I can barely tell you what came out yesterday.
Attack on Titan season 4 part 2 the final part. Or part 3 the final part.
Yeah.
I forgot all fucking about that.
Yeah, that's true. That is going to be up there.
And if I had to revise my list, it would take the place of Mashal, but I still think Demon Slayer wins.
I have personal opinions, and I said I'm going to try to keep my biases out. But in all honesty, though, it is hard for me to go into an award like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look at a singular episode, because it was just one episode. Granted, it was a special. It was the Attack on Titan season 4 part 2 part 4 the final part, or whatever the fuck it was called. It was an hour and 20 some odd minutes or whatever. Like, I'm not giving it like best continuing series or best animation or best, like, it doesn't deserve any of that. It doesn't.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, and that's why like my anime of the year category is set up the way it is, and we can discuss that more as we get there. But let's continue on to our next category, best new series. I want to hear what you have here.
All right, so these are the ones that I expect to be on the list or assumed to be on the list.
I think your list and my list are going to be very similar.
Our lists are meant to be the same because we have to fucking turn our brains off and just go based off of pretty pictures.
Yeah,
all right?
I think there's only going to be one difference, but let me hear it.
All right, so from bottom to top to my ultimate winner, Go Loser Ranger, Shangri-La Frontier, Solo Leveling, Delicious in Dungeon, Apothecary Diaries, and then Frieren. And then Frieren ends up winning Best New Series.
Interesting. Okay, so I have 4 similar: Frieren, Delicious in Dungeon, Apothecary Diaries, Solo Leveling. The other 2 that I have in there, because one is a toss-up, and you, what was your first one that you put in there?
Go Loser Ranger.
Yeah, I didn't put that.
It was because I did the same math, like brain gymnastics that you did, which was it had an ending song that people liked a lot.
Yeah.
And
no, I think it was the opening song. It was that opening song. No, it was definitely the opening song. That opening song is fucking.
Was it the opening? Okay.
Yeah, it was
whatever song. People liked it and people flocked to it, and I know it's I know which ones you're gonna put on there. I know which ones.
So the one that you're probably thinking that I'm thinking, Kaiju number 8.
Mm-hmm.
And which that too had 2 bangers, an opening and an ending. The ending by
I hate the opening
Republic.
song. Or the ending song.
By One Republic? You didn't like it?
Well, I fucking hate One Republic. So that doesn't help.
Nobody got you the way I do. But the last one which you put Go Loser Ranger in there, for me was kind of a toss-up, and I threw Windbreaker in there. Because Windbreaker to me was something that was so unexpected that I never saw myself being drawn to, and I think a lot of people felt this way too. And it turned out to be a lot better than it should have been. So I think that last one is a toss-up because, and honestly, Shangri-La Frontier would be a good pick here too. But again, it's a toss-up, and I think a lot of people are over the video game genre / like, not necessarily isekai because he's not stuck in the game. But
I think I like the, again, it's hard to make something insanely new these days. You have to work within the parameters that you have in front of you, right? But you have to make it feel different. I feel like Shangri-La Frontier did it well enough. Again, the limited amount that I've watched, it did it well enough, and it was entertaining enough. And I thought that as a new series, it had something that could bring people back. It's not like a slime or anything like that, but it was something where you could go, okay, I could see myself continuing this until it gets boring.
Completely agree. For me, you had Frieren winning. I actually had Delicious in Dungeon winning this one.
I don't know, man. I think if we were going off of recency bias, sure, Delicious in Dungeon, and also because of the season 2 announcement, they've kept up the conversation. Fine.
Yeah.
I think once people go and realize, because Frieren is gonna feel like like eternity ago. Once
Yeah,
the
it started
actual
in fall 2023 and ran through winter 2024, while
yeah,
Delicious started in winter 2024 and ran to
well,
spring 2024.
and again, this is it's it this is not me insulting you, okay, listeners and viewers out
Okay.
there, okay,
Oh,
it's not me
I thought you were
insulting
talking
you.
about me. I was
No,
like,
no, no,
"You
not you.
bitch."
Not you. No, no, no. This is specifically to the other anime fans out there, okay? You probably forgot that Frieren is in fact eligible this season and not last season. Because the main comment we kept seeing on all of our videos and like from other people commenting once the Crunchyroll Awards were announced were like, why didn't Frieren run? Where was Frieren? Frieren should have been on this list. And it's like, uh, if you yes, Crunchyroll does their awards dumb in that they take it from the last season of 2023, which is fall, through summer of that year that they're being nominated, which is summer 2024, right? So it is dumb. It's not the entirety of the year calendar year that the shows are coming out. So many people probably forgot, and then they're gonna see the nominee list once they're released in God, it's gonna be a while. I feel like
December,
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
We're making this episode
This
5
is
months early.
well, I mean, 5 months early, but in fairness, the ending point for what shows are going to be eligible, what anime are eligible, is quickly approaching. So
It's
again,
literally
just to
7 or
keep
8 weeks.
just to keep that in mind, everyone, keep that
Yep.
in mind. So I think once people see it on the list, they're gonna be like, oh shit, Frieren's
Yeah.
eligible? What? And then they're gonna
So
vote for it.
agreed. I did have 3 different changes again in my list for what I actually want. I
Okay.
did keep Freerun, I did keep Delicious in Dungeon, and I
Yep.
kept Apothecary Diaries.
Yep.
The other 3 that I included were Shangri-La Frontier because I do adore that show. I think that series, especially the manga, every time I pick up a new issue of that manga or new volume,
Mm-hmm.
I instantly read it and I instantly want more. And I have come so close so many different times to just reading it all online, and I'm like, "No, Frank, don't spoil it for yourself.
You've done this before.
Just just wait for the next volume to come out and just it's fine. It'll be okay."
Yeah.
Shangri-La Frontier, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. I put that as a good best new series there
Yeah.
because I did enjoy my time from start to finish with that series.
Yeah.
There are a bit of jumps in leaps in reality, I feel like, with some of the decisions made, specifically on the corporation portion, but whatever, we can get
Yeah.
past that. I did enjoy it. And then the last one that I put in here for best new series, I have 2 like these last 3 can make it, but the 2 runner-ups that I have were Witch and the Beast.
God.
I think if it had a better first 3 episodes, it would have done a hell of a lot better than it did. But I still enjoyed my time with Witch and the Beast, and then Too Many Losing Heroines. Those are my runner-ups because
Okay.
Too Many Losing Heroines this season has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's only 3 episodes out as of recording. They come out every Saturday or Sunday. Saturday, I believe. And it's just a delight from start to finish each episode. They are hilarious.
Yeah.
But the last series that I put in there that squeaked in there is The Elusive Samurai, which is from this season.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bit of recency bias, but to me, it is one of those shows that I knew of this series. I've seen it on the Shonen Jump app, and it's one of those things like, should I start this? No, I'm not going to start this. Should I start this? No, I'm not going to do it. And getting through the first 3 episodes, I still haven't watched episode 4. This show is a delight. It's great. It's one of those things that this is what Demon Slayer should be. Because Demon Slayer has the pretty animation and just fucking paper thin quality of a story. And The Elusive Samurai, granted, we are still 3 episodes in. I get it. I am jumping a very hot gun right now. The animation is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. It's very different from Demon Slayer's animation, but it is wholesomely great. But the story is so much better in my opinion because it is a timepiece, like a time capsule, because it is set in like the 1600s or 1500s, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just the premise of just it being semi of a revenge show, but also not. the premise of it seemed a lot better than just like, oh, there's a big bad demon, we gotta go kill him. It's like, hey, this guy kicked me out of my home, killed my family. I'm gonna go out of my own country to train and slowly but surely take back what is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been really enjoying that premise a lot more than I have Demon Slayer. So that's what I have for my 3 changes. I still have Delicious in Dungeon winning best new series because I fucking love Delicious in Dungeon so damn much.
Yeah. My top 4 remain the same. So Freer and Apothecary, Delicious, Solo. The only 2, Shangri-La Frontier and Go-Go Loser Ranger, I would change. 1 to the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. It's that show, and we had conversations in the Discord when it was coming out. Like, that show deserved way more attention than it
so
got.
Dumb, but so funny.
It's ridiculously dumb, but it's hilarious. It's so well done too, right? It's a level of etchiness that teeters on like just pure comedy too, where it's not like truly like overtly gross or etchy or anything like that you would normally like envision being like in a harem type anime. This one was like purely for the comedic effect of it, and it works so well. Like everything about the anime was a delight, and I have it as the best new series because I was gonna put Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night in there. I just don't know. I don't have the confidence in it getting a second season. I don't know if it's planned on getting a second season or anything like that.
I don't think it will. I think, I mean, usually original animes, they are just a one and done season unless it's something super special that it's just like, okay, this actually did very well. Let's make another, like Licorice Recoil. That recently got announced, or it's a recent rumor that, no, I think it was announced.
It's got announced. It's going to have like six little mini
6 short episodes or something of just like slice of life topics rather than like action, which, you know what?
It's a bit of a tease.
It's a bit of a tease, but good on him because I mean, it's more of a show that we actually all enjoyed. It was a great original show. So I think originals were really intended for 1 season rather than a second.
Yeah. And then I think my other one would honestly be the Too Many Losing Heroines. Because that one was one that was on my radar for a while when it got announced, and I was like, this looks interesting. I love the premise. I love the direction that it would feasibly go. And you know, episode 1 is, as far as I've gotten so far, is exactly what I imagined, but more. So I feel like, and that one has a good chance to continue along and do extremely well. So like when I think of best new series, I think of, you know, anime that have longevity to them. Yeah. So all the ones on my list kind of kept that in mind. But yeah, I would add 100 Girlfriends and then Too Many Losing Heroines. But my winner, this might shock you, my winner is actually Apothecary Diaries.
Ah.
I thought Apothecary Diaries, because it has, again, similar to Delicious in Dungeon, the pleasure of getting a 2-core back to back. Yep. It was
season 2 phenomenal. Is in development as well.
Yeah, I think it's aiming for like spring 2025. I want to say that might be a little bit too soon, but I think it's right around there. I thought Apothecary Diary, because I had no real expectations going into like episode 1. You were watching it before me, and then I got into it, and it's one of the few anime that's come out recently where I binged the crap out of it. I think I was sick over a weekend, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start Apothecary Diaries. Might as well. And I forced myself to stay up way too late the first night, and I basically just crammed through the entire first season in one go.
I think I begged and pleaded, not begged and pleaded, but I'm pretty sure
you had brought it up. You had like you were making like
we were times that I'm like, this is a great show.
Yeah, we had talked about it on the podcast. You had made a couple of like posts on social media and stuff about it, like, you know, jokes and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I keep seeing things. I'll give it a try. Like, it looks good. I like timepiece stuff when it's not purely historical. And obviously this one is very loose, extremely loose. And it's just like historical, like relevance and whatnot. It is kind of, I guess, an homage, if that's the correct word, to the time period in which it's taking place. But no, this was well and beyond what I could have imagined it being. And yeah, when I finished it, I was like, do I just go and like start reading it from the beginning too? Like, cause it's there's a bajillion volumes out. Like I can catch up. I can go beyond. This seems fun. It's one of those ones too where like there was like a handful of everything. It was slice of lifey. There was some mystery. There was some more dark-ish, if you'd call it, moments of like, like very intense things.
Some espionage in there.
Yeah. And, it was a good mix of it all to where you're not getting just, casual slice of life, historical stuff crammed down your throat. It's got splashes of everything. So, yeah, I gave that one to Apothecary Diaries.
Fair enough. Well, the third category we have Best Original Anime. This one I thought was going to be a lot harder than it was. I actually had a hard time finding original shows to throw in here.
I didn't. I knew of like
original
4
shows that were actually good.
Yeah. All of mine on here I feel like are good.
There are a handful. There's at least just one in here that I'm like,
I know which one it is.
Maybe two.
I know which one it is.
But I'm gonna honestly start this one off with a show that I don't know if you can classify this as original or not, because when you go on to Mal and you go on to, actually I don't know what Live Chart says about it, but when you go on to Mal it says other, and that's Suicide Squad Isekai.
Yeah, I think that would technically be original.
It's not like it's based off a DC property, but there's no source material for the isekai. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's the same thing as, because this one popped up on Live Chart as well. It's the same thing as the Rick and Morty anime. It's technically an original, even though it does have references to earlier seasons of the actual Rick and Morty television show. It's still considered to be an original because it's adapted from something that is just like the IP. It's not like actual source material where they're following it to a T, right? It's I guess you'd call it like a loose adaptation or whatever. But yeah, Suicide Squad Isekai, I actually honestly didn't even think about that one.
I still need to watch it. This is one of those ones that I still need to watch, but I have it on my list because I have heard good things about it. So eventually I'll get there. But
I've seen a few clips. The animation looks good. I don't know how it's gonna go. Yeah. Like it's like story wise, that's still up in the air. But
that's fair. To round out the rest of my list, because I only said the one, I had the show that everybody forgets about because it's on Max, Ninja Kamui. I found out that's an original. I did not realize that was not based on anything. So
it's on my list as well.
Ninja Kamui, the Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, Train to the End of the World, Mayonaka Punch, which is airing this season, and then the last one, which I just don't agree with, but I couldn't figure out anything better to put in here, Buchigiri.
What's crazy is that you're missing 2, one of which I think you're gonna feel really stupid about.
Probably.
So my list is basically the same, but I have 2 that are different. So instead of Buchigiri,
Suicide Squad and Buchigiri,
I have Girls Band Cry, which is an original.
Yeah, but it didn't come out here, so I didn't.
It didn't come out here. I know, but it got enough to where people were like, "It should be here. Why isn't it here?"
Everybody that has watched it is like, "Why? What?"
Yeah,
fucking and you can Bandai or whoever has the rights to it fucking drop the ball. So hard.
I think we're still waiting on that Shogi one too, right?
Yeah, but that one did not do well at all. It did not do well, which is really unfortunate.
That's a shame. And the other, you can fact check me. I am 95% confident that this is the case. Train to the End of the World.
I put Train to the End of the World on there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said Suicide Squad, Isekai, Ninja Kamui, Buchigiri, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night,
Mayonaka.
Train to the End of the World, and Mayonaka Punch.
Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't hear Train to the End of the World. My bad. All right, so Girls Band Cry is the only one that you were missing that I thought you would put. My only other one then is Metallic Rouge, which was an original.
Oh, I did forget about that. Yeah. I think for me, I kind of blocked that one out for how great it started and then fucking nosedive straight into the ground. Like that one, that is one of those shows that I feel like the creators had in mind. We are going to get 2 seasons with this because this is going to be great. Everybody's going to flock to it. everybody flocked to episode 1, and then episode 2 came out, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And then just
if you want to know my honest opinion, I think they had intended it being like a short limited series, and then they had to make more than what they needed, and that was where all of that confusing stuff came in. So it felt like I thought it was going to be based on the first episode and how things were progressing. My take is that Metallic Rouge was anticipated being like a limited series, like a 6 or 8 episode limited series, and it was going to be just the fights with the other people. I can't remember the names of them.
See, I thought the opposite. I thought that they wanted more, and then when they were told like, no, you're only getting 13 episodes, they crammed every idea that they had for the show into it instead of cutting anything.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I thought that originally too. If you go back and watch it, which you're not gonna do,
no,
fair enough.
God,
fair enough.
No chance in hell am I going back to.
But if you were to do that, you can pick out points, because there's specific points in that show where I'm like, what's the point of this? And then they would spend a majority of the time on it, and then it wouldn't make a difference the next episode. Yeah. So it felt like they had to like just make up fluff to pad time, versus what your thinking is and what mine was before, which is they had a larger picture in mind, and then they had to condense it. I think it was the opposite. They had less of what they wanted to do, with the anticipation of it being 6 to 8 episodes, and were requested, hey, BT Dubs, you got 13 to work with, and they had to make it bigger than what it was originally supposed to be. But yeah. I digress. I can talk about Metallic Rouge more. But our lists are fairly the same.
Fairly so. And then I had Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night winning this category.
I mean, we can move through this pretty quickly. I had Jellyfish winning the category, and is also my winner as well. Because I
have the same thing as well. But I did have one change for shows.
Ooh.
Between my want and actual prediction. The only reason I have this change, and I'm moving Buchigiri out because that show is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
The show that I put in there for my want list, the only reason I don't think anybody's going to vote for it and it won't make it is for the fact that nobody really watched this show too much. The people who did really enjoyed it, but nobody really likes Mecha anymore. I feel like Mecha is a very under the radar show. So Brave Bang Braven, I have in there instead of Buchigiri.
I knew you were gonna bring that one up. Your weird two bros on the cover.
It's so funny. I need to go back and watch it all, because that show was really wildly funny. Because for those of you who don't know the premise, starts out all the countries are having basically a scrimmage, and like a war scrimmage of like who's the best military, etc.
I love having war scrimmages.
Yeah, good old war scrimmages. But they're all piloting mechs of varying abilities, etc. And then aliens invade, and they don't know what, like, they basically blow up the rest of the world that isn't just where they're at battling each other. And then their mechs that they have can't kill the aliens, and then all of a sudden a mech comes from space, and it's like an alien itself, and abducts one of the pilots, and basically breaks the fourth wall in the sense of like, we're gonna do this thing, and the pilot is like, is that background music? What the fuck is going on? And just like breaks the fourth wall and just comments on all these things, because the mech is like listing off these Power Ranger type moves, and he's like, why the fuck does this have a move? Can't we just kill the thing? Like, it's bonkers and funny, and I think that like more people should have watched it, including myself. I need to finish it. Yeah. But yeah. Let's move on. We've taken up a lot of time here so far, but we got 2 categories left. I know. Best animation.
I hate this category.
I do too. This is the art and the art form, rather than the cinematography and like the camera angles, etc. type deal. Yeah. So best animation, I have for actual predictions, not my wants: Demon Slayer, Kaiju Number 8, Frieren, Elusive Samurai, Delicious in Dungeon, and Apothecary Diaries.
Wow. Ours differ pretty well, actually, surprisingly enough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What you got?
So same ones. I have Demon Slayer, Delicious in Dungeon, Frieren.
Okay.
The other ones I have Solo Leveling.
Okay.
I have Zom 100.
I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't it nominated last?
Was it nominated last year? I thought it was in the October. Or is it because it was delayed? It was delayed and they finished.
Hold on. Zom 100.
That might be it. Otherwise, I might have to change some things around.
Mal has it as summer 2023, but we can go to Crunchyroll and see what it has it in its like little bucket for simulcast
I was gonna say Live Chart had it at 2020 or it's fall 2023.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it does have Zom in summer 2023, but I'll check fall and see if it like
peaked
continues in. Yeah.
I mean, regardless, it's not winning anything.
It does continue in, but
I think it's
completely forgot about.
Well, I think it's because it was delayed, so I think it might be a cheese. It might be a cheese. Same with JJK season 2, which again, it's. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be there or not. But if it is, it's gonna be in there because it's the Shibuya arc, and that's when Mappa drained the remaining life force out of their workers to be like, animate this. So much so that the I'm gonna butcher the name. The Mahadra fight with Sukuna was reanimated as a special for the Blu-ray, I think, for season 2. Yeah, the fight with the
volcano head.
No, not volcano head. No, the last sacred treasure from Fushiguro. The dude that has like the little like twist on. Yeah, that fight was reanimated for as a special for the Blu-ray specifically. Like, yeah, I know.
I hope it's not here.
I hope it's not here too.
I have Demon Slayer winning this because this is Demon Slayer's category to lose every fucking year.
So,
you had that last episode that people just absolutely cream their pants for.
So here's the thing.
I know what
I'm taking a page out of Crunchyroll's book. All right.
Oh.
In my approach to the awards for this upcoming year.
Okay.
I'm going to predict right now. You can mark it on July 30th, 2024 at 8:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Magically Average made the prediction that Frieren Beyond Journey's End will win at minimum 8 categories. 8 categories.
I will say Frieren wins 5.
Nope, 8. Because Frieren's going to win Best Animation. Hands down. Frieren's going to win Best Animation. I could not count for purely due to the fact that there were an obscene amount of videos made capturing a number of different scenes from Frieren solely for the animation. The fight with Fern and the vampires in the one town.
Mm-hmm.
The fight with it starts with an S. I know it does. What is the red? Stark, thank you. I always forget his name. I feel bad. Stark's fight with the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
There's Frieren's fight with the devil, one of the devil army generals, which is not much of a fight, but just that scene in particular, the ending sequence of that alone. That is, I think all of those are in season 1. That's not even in season 2 or part.
There is
part
no
two.
season 2. It's a core 2, and it does help for the fact that all 26, I think, or 25 episodes are included in this category or in this season, like this award ceremony, I should say, because it started in fall 2023 and it ran to winter 2024. So,
I mean, in fairness, season 2 just had a lot of, or part 2, excuse me, season 1, core 2.
Yeah,
I hate all of our different naming conventions. It was mainly snowy. It was mainly snowy. There's a lot of snow scenes and stuff.
Not even like maybe the first 2 episodes, 3 episodes.
Pretty sure the first like 4 or 5. It's okay. Anyway,
they did a lot of time with that tournament arc.
No, I know.
Trying to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway, No,
Okay,
I mean,
you
I
say
think
you
I
say
think
8, I say 5 for
I just
winning rewards.
I
'Cause I think that Delicious in Dungeon is gonna put up a more of a fight than you think
so no, no.
for the fact that of, like, when I look at all the different videos coming out for, conventions that have happened over the past, we'll call it 6 months, it's
It
heavy on Delicious
it
in
doesn't
Dungeon
matter.
cosplay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We need to learn our lesson. We need to learn our lesson. We've done this 2 years in a row now. Third year is the charm. We have to learn our lesson, Frank. We do you know how upsetting it
I have
was?
the hope!
Do you know how upsetting it was getting up at 3 a.m., putting on a nice like
I
suit or
never
whatever,
went to bed. I understand how painful that
watching the
was.
awards and realizing that
Ugh.
JJK, whatever part of it, who knows, still up in the air, basically swept the awards, and we came in thinking Chainsaw Man was going to capture at
Yeah,
least like 5, right? At
yeah.
least 5. It got what, 3?
Sure. It won the best American VA
Yes.
new series, I think,
I
and maybe
and
one more.
I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Maybe ending song? I don't know. I can't tell you. I all I'm saying is that the way that the awards work is that once people just latch on to an anime, to one anime, there's no going back. There's no hope for the rest, right? Like it's
Yeah.
done. Frieren got in early and held on as tight as they could humanly possibly could. And they're going to be this upcoming year's Jujutsu Kaisen. They're the ones that are going to take the awards, even the awards that I personally don't think they deserve. They're still going to take them. Watch. It's going to be 8 minimum, calling it now.
So
It's just the way it works.
Chainsaw won 5 technically.
Yeah, but they won.
Four of them being voice actor awards.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I'll say it here too. The Frieren ones will not be like it's not gonna be like 7 voice acting and like 1 of the main awards. No, it's gonna be like best new series, best animation, best cinematography, best direction, best soundtrack, anime of the year. Like it's gonna be those types of awards. Maybe sprinkle in like best ending or opening sequence or song, because those are different categories. Maybe throw in a VA. Right?
I don't think if we're gonna real quick, I'm gonna hop right in that ass right now. Best opening is hands down going to Mashal. There's no fucking way it doesn't win.
I mean, yeah, that's besides the point, though.
That's besides the point.
All I'm saying
I
is
understand
that
what you're saying. Is that they're not just going to be voice actor awards; they are going to be substantial things.
Yes, exactly. They are going to be the Jujutsu Kaisen of this upcoming year. If we've learned, and again,
in my heart of hearts, I know, but at the same time, like Delicious in Dungeon did get very popular as well.
No, I know.
Very popular. And that's why I have such a hard time of letting go and saying yes for you're gonna win 8, 9 awards. Because I do, in my heart of hearts, think that Delicious in Dungeon will take some of them away. I swear to God, if fucking Demon Slayer wins for Best Fantasy over either Frieren or Delicious in Dungeon, I'm not making another fucking episode again. I'm done podcasting.
We're done with the podcast.
We will retire Baka&Co and BakaBites if fucking Demon Slayer wins Best Fantasy again.
Sorry,
Frieren and Delicious in Dungeon.
Sorry, Drew. Demon Slayer is going to be the end of us.
We're fucking throwing it all in the toilet if Demon Slayer wins fucking Best Fantasy again. But Best Animation, again, to me, this is Demon Slayer's category to lose every year.
Let me finish off just by saying I hope what I'm saying is false, right? I'm hoping last year is an anomaly. I don't want anime to just sweep every category. I want it to be a fair fight amongst all of them, and for each one to have the rightful place as nominees because they deserve it, not because people just voted it because it looked the best or because their friends said it's the best or because that's what they read online. Like, I want it to actually be the best for whatever category it's being nominated for. And whether it's Frieren or not, it's going to be up to the category, right?
Yep.
But here, I think Frieren's going to take Best Animation. In my mind, it's a little early. I think we have kind of a similar ish winner based on like very specific things, I guess, in the animation. Mine is Too Many Losing Heroines, solely for the fact that it's one of the few anime that looks natural. Like all of the background scenes, all of the environments, like a lot of times in anime you get sequences where everything looks pristine, everything looks super clean, everything looks like oddly spotless.
Yeah.
This anime is like, no, this is like, we're gonna show you things as they are. Like their school is a fucking dump. Like it looks run down. There's grime everywhere. Like they go out into places in public. It's pretty dirty, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way the world is. We're not living in like a chrome universe like SpongeBob in that one episode where he's like future.
Future.
Anyways, yeah, like I think that animation alongside the fact that it's A1 Pictures, so they do great with their actual characters and a lot of like the facial features and stuff. Like I
Mm-hmm.
like all of the expressions. It's very over the top and over dramatic, which is perfect for the type of anime that this is too. I think all of those elements combined make this extremely unique. It was a close one between this and like The Dangers in My Heart, but The Dangers in My Heart doesn't do anything like spectacular, I'll say. It just looks really good, and they have a way of using light in certain scenes to make things really like explode, which is a kind of a rarity at times. I feel like, being able to capture light well in an animation is challenging. But Too Many Losing Heroines, though, I think animation wise is one of those, like, it's kind of like last year's for like the lazy cat or whatever the fuck it was called.
Oh yeah, the depressed cat is, or the something cat is depressed again.
Yeah, that one. And then there was,
Magical cat is depressed again today, something like that.
yeah, and then the other one from the same studio that the girl I like forgot her glasses.
Oh yeah,
Both
that's
done by the
right.
same studio. Like they had a really unique way of like panning shots and
That was
like
good cinematography.
yeah, like really good cinematography. It's not to that level, I'll say, but it's Too Many Losing Heroines has those types of aspects that I really liked, which is why I feel like it has a shot, albeit it's going up against basically like 6 Goliaths, you know?
Yeah.
But, I have hope. I think it does deserve it though.
Fair enough. The only one that I replaced on this list for best animation, I did take Demon Slayer out, despite me having it win in the actual predictions, because again, it is that category or that show's category to lose. I took it out solely for the fact that there was 6 or 8 episodes, I think, this past season, and only really got word about one of them being super duper pretty. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! And I replaced it with a show that I'm still on the seesaw, the teeter totter, whatever you want to call it, as to whether or not this is actually going to be anything good or just a completely fucking average show. But Shoshimin, How to Become Ordinary. I threw this on the list because we are 3 episodes in. They've alluded to a lot of things story wise, but they just haven't gotten to the fucking point, which really frustrates me 3 episodes in, because it's like people give it 3 episodes, and if you don't hook them, you lose them. So it's like, all right, I'm giving it one more go before I drop this show. But the animation in this show is incredibly gorgeous. I think that it has a chance of making this category just for that fact. Will it? Hell no. Nobody's watching this show. Nobody's talking about this show from what I've seen. So I don't think it makes it, but I personally would love to see it here because it has probably some of the best animation in the series, other than the one that I have that I actually want to win, and that is The Elusive Samurai.
Yeah.
That show's drop dead gorgeous. I've been enjoying every minute of it, and I think it deserves the win this year. So that's that. We have one last category, good sir, Anime of the Year. What are your predictions of what will actually be there compared to what you want to be there?
Actually be there will be, again, kind of bottom to top, no particular order, I guess, for these, but Oshinoko season 2, Kaiju number 8, Delicious in Dungeon, Solo Leveling, Frieren, and then again the up in the air JJK. I think you can also toss in an AOT. I'm gonna give that last 6 spot, I'll say, to like it could be JJK, it could be Attack on Titan season 4 part 4, the final part. It could even be, God forbid, it could even be a fucking Demon Slayer. Who knows? Again, the 6th spot is always just a toss up, right? You normally will have the 3 guarantees from the season, which in my mind are Frieren, Delicious in Dungeon, and Kaiju number 8, because those are the ones that have had the most discussions throughout this year during the time that they've been airing, and even slightly beforehand, just leading up to them. Oshinoko, I feel like, will get in because of it's having the opposite effect from its first season, where started off high, kind of went low. This one started off low and is kind of going high, right? So it's just gradually going up. Solo Leveling, which I think rightfully deserves it, albeit had some people going back and forth on whether or not it was actually good. I thought it was good. I thought it was well paced to the point where it was perfectly ended the first season leading into the second season. But yeah, that last spot, I'm going to give it as the toss-up spot.
Yeah, your toss-up spot for me is Apothecary Diaries.
I mean, yeah, and it probably deserves it. No, that's what I mean. Like the toss-up spot is like you can throw anyone in there, and I'm like, yep, that I guess to be expected.
But yeah,
right?
your list is a mirror of mine, other than the toss-up spot, which I have Apothecary Diaries in there. So Frieren, Delicious in Dungeon, Apothecary Diaries, Solo Leveling, Kaiju number 8, and Oshinoko season 2. I have Frieren winning this. We talked about this, and this is where I kind of want to have a little bit of a discussion, in which I think that going into this, a lot of people love Delicious in Dungeon and they love Frieren. And I know you're like, oh my, but everybody loved Frieren more. But with best new series and best or anime of the year being similar but different for a lot of these shows, like a lot of these shows are going to be in both categories. I think everybody will give Frieren anime of the year, but they still enjoyed Delicious in Dungeon so much more that, or not so much more, but they'd still enjoy Delicious in Dungeon a lot, to the point where they're like, you know what? Let's give it the best new series. Let it win something. That's why I have best new series as Delicious in Dungeon, and why I have anime Frieren, because those two are Goliaths going into this award ceremony. And I think that people are gonna still want to see Delicious in Dungeon pop up. So that, and I know that that's my brain being like rational, and people who vote in this for the fan vote are irrational. They don't think like that. They did. I wish they did, but they don't. It just is what it is. But yeah, I Frieren deserves all the roses it's gotten and gets for good reasons. So I yeah, there's not much more we can really talk about for that show.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Delicious in Dungeon, it's hard. If I had one say, if Crunchyroll, the higher ups, the secret society that runs the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, if they were to approach me, or if I was to be abducted by them, blindfolded, and thrown into their lair, and they were like, you get one wish, we will grant you one wish when it comes to the Anime Awards, what wish would it be? My wish would be that the main categories that people care the most about, right? Like your anime of the year, your best new series, best animation, cinematography, all those big ones, right? Those are limited to only new shows.
Interesting.
Because how many times do I have to see Demon Slayer win best animation, right?
Or best fantasy.
Or best fantasy. It won it already. It won it already. You won best animation.
We will drive this thing into the fucking ground.
All I'm saying is, if I had my way, I wouldn't have had most of the anime that I've listed so far on any of these categories, because I mean, obviously continuing series, you can't put new anime there. It has to be actual continuing series. I get that. But all the other ones would be limited to just what is new coming out. Because I mean, again, I know what Jujutsu Kaisen looks like. Okay, I know what My Hero looks like. I know what Demon Slayer looks like. I get it. Okay? I know what they're about. I know the director. I know the cinematography, the soundtrack, the voice acting. I know all that shit. I get it. Okay? Unless it's something godly, otherworldly that this new season of theirs introduces, which, spoiler alert for all you people, none of those anime, none of them, not your Attack on Titans, not your My Hero Academias, none of them have ever done something in a follow-up season to the point where it would get to this level that I'm trying to refer to, okay? Unless they reach an otherworldly tier and you're like, Jesus Christ, we have to give them best animation. They have literally created a new standard. Like they developed an entirely new process by which all studios are now going to adapt to keep pace with what they were doing in this anime. Because holy cow, what a show. Like the pinnacle of animation, right? If you hit that point, granted, you deserve it. Kudos.
Yeah.
Good job. If you haven't, I don't want to see your fucking name anywhere in those categories. I don't want to see you in soundtrack. I don't want to see you in best boy or girl, who we must protect at all costs. I don't want to see you fucking anywhere. Pro tag, antag, none of that. I don't want to. I know that Aaron is your bad boy, good boy, bad boy. All right, he's a sassy girl. I get it. Okay? He doesn't need to be nominated again for best antagonist or best protagonist. Okay? He doesn't. I don't need to see Mikasa up there. I don't need to see any of these people. Fucking Gojo. If I hear Gojo's name again, I might scream. I might actually scream. I might actually start breaking all of the figures of him, assuming I can get away with it with my wife. Which
your wife would fucking kill you.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be my wish, because to your point, Delicious and Dungeon deserve to win more. I just don't see it. I don't see a situation where they're going to. I truthfully don't. I love Studio Trigger. They're one of my favorite studios, and they did an absolute banger of a job with this anime. I think they deserve a lot of credit, and they do get a lot of credit for their show. Will that be shown at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards? Will they get their rightfully deserved awards? Their time on the stage for all of their hard work?
No.
Probably not. No, probably not. But again,
yeah,
that is the product that the Crunchyroll Awards have created. Like that is the circus in which they're going to be entering.
Yeah. So, real quick before we wrap things up, those are our actual predictions. We both have the same prediction for winner and basically same list. However, for my want list, I got rid of Kaiju number 8 and Solo Level, and I threw in there Dangers in My Heart season 2 because I know how much everybody loves that show.
You're just pulling at my heartstrings.
I know I am. But also I threw in Jobless Reincarnation season 2 part 2.
God, that is pie in the sky, good sir.
No, I don't think so, because it's been nominated in the past, and I think that it has.
Bro, it can't even win. It can't even win Best Fantasy.
I know.
It can't even win Best Fantasy.
I know.
like it ain't gonna happen. That's
why it's on my want list. That's
the
why
most
it's
egregious.
On the want list.
That's the most egregious thing tonight. Honestly, out of everything you've just said, that is the most obscene
How
thing.
Is Jobless Reincarnation season 2 part 2 more egregious than saying Dangers in My Heart season 2? It ain't, because you know that Jobless Reincarnation season 2 part 2 is better than Dangers in My Heart season 2.
We've said a lot of things are better than others. We've said
but you
plenty
know
of
for
things.
A fact that is the god honest truth.
I know.
But yeah, I still don't have either of those winning. No. If I had my my heart of hearts, this wins. It's Delicious in Dungeon. I think Freeren's still gonna win, but in my heart of hearts, I still want Delicious in Dungeon to win, because that season was everything I wanted and more. It gave me more than what I ever would have expected from that show. And I don't know if it's thanks to Trigger. I don't know if it's thanks to the voice actors. I don't know who to thank, but that show in general and that series is so special to me, and I absolutely adore the series with all my heart. And I can't wait for season 2, because season 2 somehow is going to be so much better. It's going to be so much better. It's insane.
Yeah.
I just want it to win. I just want it to win everything. I really do. I don't think it will, but I want it to.
Yeah. It's really just a battle of, does the fun adventure win or the somber adventure win? It's really what it boils down to. And the somber adventure is going to take the cake. Because the somber adventure had a slew of things take place. I don't think you can keep up with it. I don't think Delicious and Dungeon can keep up with Frieren. I don't. Frieren didn't have as many action scenes or events take place. It was a lot of walking around, but that's what you want. You want a slow adventure. I think
the way you were phrasing things, I thought you were gonna throw Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 Part 2 in here. Frieren was the fun.
That's not a somber adventure.
Jobless was the somber. I was like,
that's a fucking
you were about to yell at me for this.
No, that's a roller coaster, up and down, twisty turvy, never fucking stabilizing.
Yeah, that's a roller coaster of mental abuse.
Yeah, that's about sums it up perfectly.
Yeah, but yeah, I know you're right. Yeah. I know you are.
Yeah.
And I do this every year. I give myself hope, and it comes crumbling down. And this whole entire list is going to come crumbling down if Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 is eligible.
Right.
If it is, if the Shibuya incident arc is eligible, fuck this list, that wins everything again, because it is a popularity contest. Honestly, that's what's gonna happen. Also, I did have too many losing heroines as runner up for like making it.
No,
but it won't. I'm enjoying it a lot, so I wanted to give it a shout.
There's a lot of titans in the way. Not of which are a part of the attack of, but just
I know. But I just wanted to give it a shout because I am having such a great time with it. And I hope you had a great time with us. Thank you so much for joining us this week. This has been a fun episode for me to discuss, because I really enjoy.
It's been fun and frustrating, right?
It is, but I enjoy talking about the what ifs in the world. This one being a fucking huge butt. Of a what if.
Yeah.
But I enjoy these type of episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. But if you want some more, check out our short form content on TikTok and YouTube, which I know I need to be better about posting. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
I've been posting some. We're gonna be.
I know you have. I need to be better than.
I got some fun ideas for some stuff for this upcoming week. So.
Very nice. Yeah. But yes, if you want some more short form content, go follow us on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and occasionally Instagram. We post or try to post daily. So if you want more, you can find us there. But until next time, Spark Triumph. We'll see you then.